All right. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aisha, and I handle programs and alumni relations at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. I would like to welcome you to the first masterclass of the 2026 flagship entrepreneurship program. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today, we'll be having Mr. Osatonoa take us through financial planning for entrepreneurs. Today is our first master class of the year. Thank you for joining us today. We see that people have been joining from different countries. I see you, Bulu from Benin. I see you, Fatu from Gambia. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Gio, Marwan, Deborah. Thank you for joining. Uche from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. Mazimba from Zambia. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We have the attendance. The attendance form is in the comment section. Please make sure you fill the attendance form. Don't forget that the attendance is compulsory. All masterclass sessions and information sessions are compulsory, so make sure you fill the attendance forms. The attendance forms are in the description box, and also they are in the comment section. With me on the call is, like I said, Osatonoa, who is our facilitator for today. I also have on the call with me my colleague Abiola, who will be coordinating the session, as well as the translators. Rolling Foucault will be translating to French, and the amiable Nadia will be translating to Portuguese for our Portuguese-speaking participants. Over to you, Osato.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Aisha, and thanks for that introduction. Good afternoon, Africa. I think every one of us, we are in the afternoon already, irrespective of where you are from on this continent. I want to say it's a pleasure and congratulations to you to have made this call. Like Aisha said, I'll be walking you through the financial planning template. I've done this over the past 10 years now, and looking forward to the opportunity to help you understand what this lets you just appreciate and also understand what is expected of you as regards completing the financial planning template. So first and foremost, there's this instruction part of the template. But before I start, over to Foucault, for intro.
Bonjour et bienvenue une fois de plus à cette session de Masterclass, la première de l'année pour ce programme d'entrepreneuriat de la Fondation Tony Elumelu. Je suis Roland Foucault, votre facilitateur francophone. Nous avons aujourd'hui comme orateur principal Osato Noah, qui va nous entretenir sur la planification financière des entreprises à travers le modèle Excel qu'on a mis à votre disposition. Donc, nous avons aussi Aïcha de la Fondation, qui est la modératrice, et bien évidemment Nadia, qui va faire la traduction en portugais. Over to you, Nadia.
Merci, Foucault. Boa tarde a todos, bem-vindo a esta primeira sessão de Masterclass da turma de 2026, do programa principal da Fundação Antônio Elumelu. Essa sessão, que será sobre finanças, será conduzida pelo Sr. Osato Noah, e na sessão nós temos também eu, Nádia Catraio, a traduzir para português a partir de Santo Tomé e Príncipe, o Foucault, que está a traduzir em francês a partir dos Camarões, e pela Fundação nós temos as senhoras Aisha e Abiola. Bem-vindos mais uma vez, obrigado. Over to you, Osato.
Yeah, thanks, Nadia. So, first and foremost, in the introduction bit, you just provide the name of your organization. I don't know why the Excel decided to show this. I don't have enough time. Okay, yeah, you provide the name of your organization. That's your name, then the name of the organization. So my name is Osato Noah, and then my organization name is FIDA Limited. And then I enter my email address here, and then that's for the cover page. Then you actually start read instructions to make sure that you understand what is expected of you. Focus over to you.
Oui, pour renseigner ce modèle financier, vous avez le premier onglet qui parle des instructions. Il est question ici d'y inscrire votre propre nom, le nom de et le nom de votre entreprise, votre email. N'oubliez pas que les sessions de masterclass sont obligatoires et vous avez dans la zone de description de YouTube le lien de la fiche de présence. N'oubliez pas de remplir la fiche de présence, s'il vous plaît. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Então, essa sessão, como eu disse, é sobre finanças. O que vocês vão fazer vai haver o senhor Osato vai vos levar a apresentar a vossa projeção financeira. Isso começa logo no início, na página da instrução. O que é necessário? É colocar os vossos nomes, aí onde diz o nome do empreendedor, obviamente que é o vosso nome, o nome da empresa, o nome da empresa e o e-mail. Atenção para a lista de presença deve ser assinada com o vosso nome. Osato, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nadia. So the next is the assumptions, and that's where you're going to spend virtually, that's the editable. So both the instruction and the assumption worksheet, they are the only worksheets that you need to make changes. Every other thing automatically populate because they are locked. So we go to the assumption sheets now. So the first thing you see is what's the business country. So you put the name of the business country, assuming I've tried to pre-populate this so we don't waste time. Otherwise, I can always change this. So assuming this is a business, FIDA is a Nigerian company. So I fill it out, and then the business currency automatically comes out is Naira. And then I'm into LPG. So my first product line, no more than 3 product lines. We don't expect that you have more than 3 product lines for this financial planning. My first is LPG dispensing plant. And then the second one is that I charge delivery fees for what I provide for these people. But this can actually be a different product. So I could have as many as 3, I can have 3 products, but this is one product line, but because the LPG is different from the delivery fees, I've sort of taken the delivery fees as a different product because I have a fees attached to that. Foco, please.
Thank you, Osato. Après l'onglet des instructions, où vous avez renseigné quelques informations et vous avez lu les instructions, nous avons l'onglet des hypothèses. Des hypothèses où vous devez mettre un certain nombre d'informations comme le pays. Et quand vous indiquez votre pays, la monnaie sort automatiquement. Vous devez aussi indiquer vos produits. Ça ne doit pas être plus de 3 produits. Ce que vous devez aussi retenir, c'est qu'en dehors de l'onglet des instructions et l'onglet des hypothèses, les autres onglets sont générés automatiquement. Donc, vous n'aurez à travailler que dans l'onglet des instructions et dans l'onglet des hypothèses. Les autres onglets, vous n'avez rien à y faire. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Bem, então, nós chegamos aqui, depois de terem preenchido na instrução, vocês vão fazer, primeiramente, selecionar o vosso país. A partir do momento que vocês selecionam o país, a moeda aparece por defeito, a moeda local, ok? E não tem que se preocupar, Tem aqui as linhas de produto. Para quem tem só um produto, basta colocar seu um produto, mas quem tem múltiplos produtos, até 3 produtos, é possível colocar cá. Uma atenção aqui, que esta é a única página, quer dizer, depois da instrução, onde vocês preenchem, e vocês preenchem aqui tudo aquilo que é a vossa suposição, porque as outras páginas a seguir é gerada a partir do que vocês alimentarem nesta página. Ok? Osato, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nada. So the next thing is to then really get into the assumption. So for this company, I mean, corporate tax rates is around 30% in Nigeria. Then the banking interest is, yeah, around 25 to 30%. So we can leave this up. It's between 25 and 30 something percent. But let's leave it at 30%. The inflation rate is around 15 plus percent. So that's 16% there. So what you're just doing is, I mean, these are available information. So you just go Google and then you fill them out. The building depreciation
Simpleto.
rate. The next is to fill out the depreciation rate. So depreciation rate for buildings, I'm taking 5%. Furniture, I'm taking 10% for the furniture. Equipment and machinery, 10% as well. Vehicles, 20%. Installations, 10%. So it's just typically filling out these. Then I now go to the next part of the assumption is around my growth rate. So before you put in your growth rate, you put your baseline. So for this LPG, my baseline volume is 60,000. So you can see the way I actually estimated it. It's 60,000 as my baseline, and then I put my growth rate. Now, what I've done here is that year 1 and year 2, I don't believe my volume will grow because I'm just starting my business. And because I don't believe I will grow the volume that I'm supposed to do on an annual basis, so I leave that. And then I believe that by year 3, my volume will start growing almost steadily up until year 10. And then in terms of price, I mean, for per LPG, although this has significantly changed today, I think it's around 3,500 naira now. So this is the cost of my LPG, 3,500. I don't also intend to increase my price in the first year or second year. I intend to increase price from the third year. But with the way inflation, the high inflation, and with what is happening in the Middle East right now, chances are that my rates will definitely even change in the price would change. The prices definitely would change in the first year, and then probably the rate of change of price may then drop as time goes on and over to year 10. And so I do this for volume of the different product 1 and product 2. Remember my product 2, recall my product 2 is my delivery fees, which I couldn't add to my LPG cost. So I've separated it. So my delivery fees is my baseline is 6,000, and then I begin to increase it 10% on an annual basis again from year 3 when I assume that the price will increase. And then the fees here is, so what I've done is that out of the 60,000 LPG, only 6,000, about 10% of them will request for delivery services. And I will charge them 1,000 naira for delivery. So that is all about the product. So over to you, Foko, before I move to other cost assumption.
OK, pour un début, vous devez donc commencer à mettre les informations nécessaires de votre produit. Et vous avez par exemple le taux des impôts, l'impôt sur les sociétés de votre pays, le taux d'intérêt moyen que les banques font dans votre pays, d'inflation dans votre pays, et vous devez aussi enseigner les taux d'amortissement. Ici, par exemple, pour les constructions, on a mis 100% pour les fournitures, 10% les équipements, les machines, 10% les véhicules. Donc, vous devez remplir votre pays. Go go down. À la suite, vous devez mettre information concernant vos revenus. La gestion bien évidemment, donc, au niveau donc, de votre chiffre d'affaires, indiqué à la
Can you hear Foucault or it's just me?
Who is
Okay,
having
Hello.
please
trouble
let
with
me
it?
continue.
Okay.
Yes, can I continue?
Yeah, please do, because I couldn't hear you.
Ok, oui, donc j'étais en train de dire que au niveau du chiffre d'affaires, vous devez indiquer les prix de base et le taux de croissance de chaque prix, de chaque produit durant les 10 années. Donc voilà l'exercice qu'on attend de vous jusqu'à ce niveau. Ok, thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Bem, então, como estava a dizer, esta é a única página onde vocês devem alimentar informações para que os resultados sejam gerados nas páginas a seguir. Então, vocês aqui têm que colocar informações sobre o vosso serviço, o vosso produto. Estava a dizer que nisso vocês põem o nome do produto que vocês vão colocar, um múltiplo produto, até 3 no máximo, e depois aqui nós temos a fase de crescimento. Ok. Como vem aqui uma estimativa para vários anos, e vocês vão alimentar, esse vai até 10 anos, vocês vão alimentar consoante aquilo que vocês acham que vai acontecer. No entanto, primeiramente, informações aqui na secção A, o que vocês devem colocar, é baseado com a realidade do vosso país, ok? Por exemplo, aqui fala do interesse do banco, se eventualmente se você fizer um crédito, quando é que o banco vai cobrar em taxa de juro? É esta taxa que deve aqui colocar. As inflações no seu país, a depreciação no seu país. Há sempre regras de país para país, depreciação de edifícios, depreciação de equipamentos, veículos, enfim, tudo dependendo da vossa realidade. E quando entramos na fase de crescimento do produto, a linha de base, que quer dizer? É o preço como sempre, né, é o preço de referência a partir do qual é o valor de referência, esta é que é a expressão correta, valor de referência a partir do qual vocês vão estimar o que vai acontecer ao longo dos 10 anos desse estudo. Aqui nesse caso, o senhor colocou para o seu produto LPG, ele colocou o valor de 60 mil, o preço de 3.500. E depois ele fez as suas estimativas. Ele assume que no primeiro e segundo ano nada vai acontecer com o seu volume de venda. Quer dizer, ele vai continuar a produzir a mesma quantidade, porque ele ainda, se calhar, ainda está a conhecer o mercado, as pessoas estão a lhe conhecer, então ele não estima que possa acontecer nada de interessante. Mas a partir do ano 3, ele coloca 10%, quer dizer que ele vai aumentar o seu volume de venda em 10% a partir do terceiro ano. Já com preço, o que ele fez? Ele assume que a partir do primeiro ano ele já vai começar a aumentar o seu preço, aumentar o preço, ou porque a matéria-prima vai custar mais caro, ou porque ele decidiu, tem os seus motivos, mas a verdade é que vocês veem aqui que tem 10%, 10%, 10%. Portanto, isto, como a página diz, é a página de pressupostos, a página de suposições. Essas suposições têm que ser fundamentadas por elementos lógicos que fazem sentido, ok? Vamos avançar, vamos continuar. Over to you, Osato.
So now that we are done with our revenue growth estimation, Let us then move to the cost. So if you have 3 products, you also work on product or service 3. So let's move to the cost. So these are just the cost, your direct cost, the assumptions around them are probably based on your experience. You've run this business for some time. You know how this works. So all what you need to do, um, all what you need to do is to make sure that you use all of the experiences you've gathered over these years to sort of estimate what is the potential growth rate, your direct cost. You can look back to 5 years, 3 to 5 years, and see what the annual growth rate is, and also then you can then add on inflation and then project. So what I've done here is to say for my cost, my direct cost for my raw materials and everything is 10% all through, just to make I can change this maybe for the purpose of conversation. Let's say 15% from year 6. I take it as 50%, and then that goes up onto year 10, and then I sort of make that adjustment. And then if you then come to my salaries, yeah, I feel the first 2 years I don't want to increase salaries for some reasons. I want to make sure, as a business person, you know that the first 2 years you still, except your business is already established, and based on the expansion, you definitely will need new roles. You bring on those new people, and probably the money you're getting doesn't mean automatically you have to increase salary. But for me, I believe that from year 3, I make a 10% adjustment. But again, I can make this more. I make the first 10, or I make just exactly about my current inflation rate adjustment for the first 7 years, and then subsequently I probably increase my rates, my salary increment to 20%. But for you to make profit as an entrepreneur, you have to keep your costs low. That is why we actually kept the cost low. You must balance that cost and revenue. So my rent, I also believe that my rent doesn't just need to be increased significantly. Like in Lagos, where I live, you pay for 2 years or you pay for 5 years, and then thereafter you don't pay. But let's assume there is an increment. Now, this increment could come in form of anything and use 10% on annual basis. But this could be significant because you could actually have somebody do a 50% or even a 100% increase on your rent. But for the purpose of this conversation, you've left it on a 10% annual basis. And even if they want to increase, let's say to 2 years or 3 or 5 years you paid for, that's like 50% after 5 years. And then your utilities, let's assume all of our utilities increase 20%, electricity or energy bill and other bills that we need to take care of. Then marketing and advertisement. This is a very important part of our business for an LPG business that we are starting. And from year 1, we want to invest heavily on marketing and advertisement. We can even increase this to 30%, but initially we just wanted to bring out our cost low because we want to do massive publicity in the first 2 years, and then all our administrative costs, the logistics, and every other thing. We say, okay, let them increase 20%, and then maintenance of our equipment, of our facilities, 20% again on annual basis. Insurance, 20%. Transport, increase on annual basis, 20%. Subscription of licenses that we need with all of these agencies and even state and federal agencies. I just said 10% on annual basis. The distance doesn't really increase like that. But just to make sure that we cover everything, that's the basis of doing this. So that is everything about the cost and all the things you need to take care of. Over to you, Foko.
Thank you, Osato. Concernant les hypothèses de taux de croissance pour les charges variables et tous les coûts opérationnels, les charges opérationnelles de l'entreprise. Vous devez donc ligne par ligne indiquer quel est le taux de croissance année par année de chacune de vos charges opérationnelles. Ça peut être au niveau des salaires, de la location, des utilitaires, du marketing, de la publicité, au niveau des charges administratives, de l'assurance, de transport, bref, toutes vos charges variables doivent être évaluées sur la base d'un taux de, puisqu'ils sont sur le taux de croissance, vous devez indiquer quel est leur rythme d'évolution d'année après année. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Bem, então, nós falamos das receitas em termos de crescimento, né? O volume de venda e também o preço. Agora nós vamos falar de custo. O processo é exatamente o mesmo. Você vai fazer as suas suposições baseado em informações educadas. Por exemplo, imagina que é um produto que você sabe que daqui a 2 anos vai haver muita procura. Então, você pode estimar que o custo vai aumentar. Ou então, sabe que a matéria-prima vai custar mais caro. Então, você pode também fazer aí a tua suposição. Para cada aspecto, os custos diretos, os salários, você tem que fazer já a estimativa de como é que vai acontecer com o crescimento do salário do seu pessoal, para não ter surpresas no futuro, porque você não vai manter o funcionário com o mesmo salário por anos após anos. As rendas, se for o caso de países, localidades onde o dono do espaço aumenta a renda porque vê que você está a gerar lucro, então está a fazer negócio. Então você tem que estimar também o valor que vai estar a renda. Utilidades, quer dizer, a luz, a água, enfim, internet, todos esses aspectos, se está de ano pode estimar já. Portanto, é isso. Analisando os teus custos, o que é que pode acontecer anos após anos. E, de novo, eu sempre baseio em informações lógicas, porque essas informações vão ter que ser aqui a tirar qualquer coisa e não haver justificativa na escrita do plano de negócios. Osato, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, so the next is your startup cost. Now that we've talked about our project, we are done with our revenue, we've identified our product, done with our revenue projections, done with our cost projections. Now we want to look at our startup cost projections. So to start up this business, we will need land. And the baseline cost for the land is 5.
Hello?
Sato is out.
Dear entrepreneurs, Yeah, apologies. Our speaker is experiencing network issues, but we'll be back shortly. In the meantime, let's look at the let's look at a few questions. So one of the questions that has been recurrent here has been, how do we use the templates? So if you look at the emails that we've been sending to you, it says that you should download the templates. Please download the templates before you use them. Also note that the templates are guides. They are to guide you during the process of your business plan, of your financial templates. We cannot select the local money or country as just. Again, the template is just a guide. So you have to tailor it to your business, your industry, your currency. It is a guide. It is not, you're not doing it exactly as Mr. Osato is doing is. If your currency is different, you use your currency or you use the USD. You use your local currency or you use the USD. Then let's see any other questions. Again, the financial template is just a guide. Please note that the financial template is a guide, so you use it according to your business industry. You can't hear anything. Yes, our facilitator is experiencing some network issues and it will be back shortly. Is the session
I'm
done?
back.
The session is not done. Okay. Yes, Mr. Osato is back now. So over to you, Mr. Osato.
Yeah, my sincere apologies, everyone. This is one
No
of those
problem, understood.
things. So, can everyone hear me now? Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
very
we
well.
can hear you loud and clear.
Hear you.
Okay, good, great. So, land, I said 5 million. I mean, then in terms of building and civil works, 15 million, furniture and fittings, another 4 million. So these are all my startup costs that are for my fixed assets. And then in order to then compute, part of my startup cost is also the stock, my inventory that I'm starting up with. So for my inventory, I said you go here, it's 3 months worth of my direct cost. So I pick that my inventory, you go here, you pick, it's 3 months worth of my direct cost that be my, and then it's computed automatically. I didn't impute it myself. Then I also go that my initial working capital will also be 3 months worth of my operating costs. So I picked it from here, and immediately I picked it as 3 months worth of my operating. It doesn't have to be three; it could be 1 month, but I just picked three. So let's assume we pick 1 month. 1 month, you see that it has reduced of our operating cost. If you pick 6 months, it will also increase significantly. So let's assume it's 1 month or 3 months. We can pick our inventory as maybe two. Let's see how that will impact. Definitely, to impact our financials, it will impact our revenue. And then contingency, I said, is just 10%. But we can also change this contingency. We can do that later. We can play around this later. So you just work around this and based now, this is all based on your experience when you're working on this, based on the experience, what you've done, and how this has been for you in your particular line of business. So this gives me the total startup cost of about 64 million naira to start this my LPG business. It's about that cost because LPG typically costs around 40 to 60 million. So I'm actually on the right track. So over to you before I move to the headcount.
OK, thank you, Osato. Donc, après avoir mis le taux de croissance des différentes charges opérationnelles, on va maintenant, quand you go down, please, on va maintenant mettre les bases, les taux de les coûts de démarrage de chacune des charges. Donc, c'est ça qui est rempli. Vous allez mettre le coût du terrain. La première année, c'est le coût de démarrage, les coûts des constructions, les coûts des machines, et ainsi de suite, des véhicules et tout ça. Tout en bas, vous allez maintenant remplir tout ce qui concerne le fonds de roulement. Ça peut être les stocks d'ouverture, ça peut être le stock initial du fonds de roulement, et ainsi que ceci se fait à travers un montant et les délais, la durée de stockage, le délai de la créance, c'est ça, bref, vous remplissez les délais indiqués pour chaque élément du fonds de roulement en fonction, bien évidemment, de votre projet. Donc, ne tenez pas compte des montants que OSATO est en train de mettre. Vous devez adapter toutes ces valeurs-là à votre projet. Over to you, Nadia.
Continuando, nos nossos pressupostos ou as nossas suposições, nós agora vamos a falar de custos de startup, ou seja, custos para arrancar com o negócio. O que é que se deve considerar aqui? Aqui tem terreno, tem edifícios, quer seja se vocês vão construir ou se vocês vão remodelar um edifício, equipamentos, máquinas, veículos, internet, água, e por aí, não é? Basicamente, tudo isso tem um custo e vocês devem colocar esse custo aí onde é de referência. A partir daí, em conta todas as outras suposições que vocês tiveram nas fases anteriores. Há umas, por exemplo, inflação, a depreciação por aí, então os valores começam na parte, tudo que vocês veem a cinza é calculado automaticamente, vocês não devem alterar nada. Portanto, vocês só têm que colocar valores aqui onde está a linha de base. Todo o resto é calculado baseado nas informações que vocês preferirem. Aqui, que até aparece já as opções no menu para vocês escolherem sobre o que acontece em termos de o inventário que vocês têm para arranque. Com período de tempo. No inventário de arranque, vocês selecionam a opção 2 meses, ou 3 meses, 6 meses, enfim. Quer dizer, qual é a quantidade de inventário que vocês vão ter em mão para arrancar o negócio. Baseado naquilo que vocês selecionam, aqui a parte, de novo, tudo que é cinza é calculado automaticamente, as fórmulas estão por trás, vocês não precisam ver. Depois também tem inicial, o capital inicial, o capital operacional inicial para ir gerir o negócio. É o suficiente para por um mês, é o suficiente para gerir por 3 meses, 6 meses. Aqui é um menu que vocês vão abrir e vai vos dar as diferentes opções e vocês selecionam a opção daquilo que vocês sabem que se enquadra convosco. E, por fim, a contingência. Contingência sempre que a gente tem que estar sempre preparado para aquilo que a gente não espera que possa acontecer. E, de novo, aqui o senhor selecionou 10%, mas vocês podem sempre jogar com isso, ok? Podem fazer tudo e depois vir aqui atrás e ajustar, mas 10% é uma boa referência para começar. Osato, over to you, thank you. You are muted in case you are speaking.
Thank you. Now that we are done with the startup cost, let's go to the headcount. Now, you agree with me, for an organization starting up, except you already have all of these rules set out, But for an organization just starting up, there will be combination of roles. You also don't want to be top heavy. So for me, senior management, CEO, CFO, CEO, yeah, we probably need one person here. Probably this person today earns like maybe 500,000 for the benefit of just wait, just give me a minute. For the benefit of this conversation, so we can just take that one, so that uh, so we just take this. I had initially said, look, we probably don't need a CEO, there will be. But I also know that the CEO can also be the business development manager for a start. You know, when you start your business, you don't want to be top heavy. You also don't want to put so much burden on the organization. But let's assume this organization, there's a senior management level one, a business development manager, one business development manager that oversees all of business development effort. And we feel we have one person as the BD manager for 10 years, just like we have the CEO. Now, in this case, the CEO will also be the CEO at this point. You know, for most entrepreneurs, you actually are the CEO, you are the CFO, and you are the CEO. And this makes it very practical and pragmatic, not to say that you have different people playing those roles and you have to pay them. But in a situation where you do, you probably have to put the total cost of everybody and show the number of people on that role. So from there, we then go to business development team. So what happens here is that once you decide on, based on your baseline, this is how much these people earn, and how many of them will I have per year. It will automatically calculate, and based on your adjusted cost in terms of how you said that the increment, maybe on a year-on-year basis, salary increment, it will give you what the total salaries and benefits. You know, at the initial stage, I had made an adjustment for what the benefit. Look at what I did here. What I did here was to say that benefits is 15% of the salary. So what happens as this total is, it will add your salary to the benefit, compute everything, and automatically gives what the total is. So the same thing, depending on the number of people you think you need for your organization, you just make those assumptions. Like this organization will need a lot of sales and customer service personnel, so we put them there, and then three of them who will earn like almost 400,000. These are just assumptions; they are not real figures. Then marketing, also we need heavy marketing. But one person will do the marketing at this stage because of our location. It's not so big and all of that. And then we won't need anybody in IT for now. But we won't need anybody doing back office support. But we need the operations front office who also double as the back office support. And we need two of them. So that's the basis for the estimation of the staffing or the employees need for this particular organization. And at the end of the day, we have the total salary and benefits that is represented here. Over to you, Foko.
OK, thank you, Osato. Pour ce qui concerne l'évaluation des salaires, vous devez, en fonction de votre prévisionnel, indiquer les différents postes de votre entreprise, en y indiquant le nombre de personnes qui doivent occuper chaque poste et le salaire de base. Quand vous allez le faire, vous verrez que dans la partie qui est un peu plus grisée, le montant du salaire va automatiquement sortir année après année pendant les 10 ans, parce que ça va tenir compte des taux de croissance que vous avez précédemment mis un peu plus haut dans l'endroit des taux. Donc, c'est ainsi que vous allez go down, please, que vous allez indiquer le salaire du DG, des directeurs des opérations, directeurs techniques, indiquer les commerciaux, le nombre, le manager, le nombre de commerciaux avec le montant de salaire. Can you go on, please? Bref, poste salarial, vous allez indiquer le nombre de personnes qui occupent le poste et le salaire de base. Donc, voilà comment vous devez remplir, que ce soit au niveau de la vente. Vous devez indiquer qui est le directeur des ventes. Au niveau du marketing, vous devez indiquer le salaire de base et le nombre de personnes qui occupent. Donc, voilà pour ce qui est de tout, ce qui concerne le salaire. Vous devez indiquer la base et le nombre de personnes. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Ok, então, nós agora vamos olhar para o recurso humano, ok? Aqui, o que é que se espera? Aqui aparece uma série de posições que, obviamente, que vocês, numa startup, uma empresa pequena a começar, não precisa de ter toda essa gente. Ou, muitas das vezes, uma mesma pessoa ocupa múltiplas funções, né? O CEO, que é o presidente, muitas vezes é presidente, é o dono, é ele que faz o marketing, né? É ele que faz as contas, enfim. Então, nesse caso, vocês selecionam só uma posição, ok? E colocam um salário que pretendem pagar a essa pessoa, só num desses pontos. Não precisa estar aqui. Se é você o dono, é o seu, ele faz também o marketing, então você não precisa, basta que coloque aqui no gerente sócio ou CEO. Então, mas como é que é? De novo, aqui devem preencher, ok? Vocês têm duas informações que devem colocar. Uma é o número de funcionários e a segunda é o salário base anual. Atenção, ok? Anual, que tudo aqui feito por ano. Então, vocês devem colocar aqui o número de pessoa e o salário que acha que a pessoa vai oferir. E aqui em cima, os impostos que é pago em função do trabalhador, ok? Não sei, segurança de Santo Tomé, isso, quanto é que é? É 12%, 7 para o empregador. Então, é isso que deve aqui aparecer. E se há outro qualquer benefício, esse por aí, vocês somam e colocam aqui que é a percentagem do salário que vocês vão pagar a pessoa, ok? E então, nós temos as diferentes posições. O Sato Kendrick Scrut, então, temos aqui o desenvolvimento de tecnologia, né? Temos quem trabalha com a informação, nós temos a pessoa responsável de venda, enfim. E tem sempre gerente e funcionário. Gerente e funcionário que vocês não têm que preencher tudo. Vocês não têm na vossa empresa, deixam em branco que vai, no entanto, colocar na linha de base o salário anual e o número de funcionários, tá bom? O Sato,
Thanks, Nadia. So now that we are done with with the the headcount analysis, let's swiftly we'll try and move fast now. Make sure we cover enough an operating cost. So recall we made all of the assumptions around our operating cost and what it would look like. So at this point, we then need to put the baseline for our total baseline for raw materials. So we put the baseline for our raw materials. The baseline is in this case 30 million naira. And then if there are other costs, you can put those direct costs, just express them here. Probably direct cost baseline here is maybe 10 million for the sake of argument. 10 million for the sake of argument. Factory overheads, if the baseline is maybe 4 million for the sake of argument. And then inbound transport is probably an annual base 15 million for the sake of argument. Just a minute. So all of these are my baseline costs. And recall that my baseline costs then add the growth rate. The growth rate I estimated earlier. So all of these, so year one has taken into the estimated growth rate and has made those adjustments on a year-on-year basis for me up until year 10. Then when I'm done with that, my fixed asset, I put out the baseline for my fixed asset here. Salaries and wages typically calculated from the totals across board, all of the totals that I had earlier. So it picked them up here and then just add them up. And then so my rent is also added up. So this picks all my fixed costs, add up all the fixed costs based on my estimate, and then project them based on the growth rate I have estimated. And then, okay, before I move to revenue, please over to you, Prof.
OK. Nous allons maintenant regarder tout ce qui est coût opérationnel. À l'exemple de toutes les charges où tout à l'heure on a mis le taux de croissance. Donc, pour ce qui concerne les charges variables, on a premièrement la matière première. Vous devez indiquer le coût de la matière première au démarrage. Vous avez aussi indiqué tout ce qui est emploi direct, dans la main-d'œuvre des ouvriers. Tout à l'heure, c'était les administratifs. Vous devez mettre tout ce qui est charge et fourniture de production, mettre tout ce qui est transport. Donc, quel est le coût de démarrage du transport tel que vous prévoyez? Au niveau maintenant des coûts fixes, vous devez mettre les salaires, les salaires variables, donc du personnel qui interviennent directement dans la production. Vous devez y mettre le loyer. Quel est le loyer de base? La première année, les utilitaires, le marketing, les charges administratives, la maintenance, l'assurance, le transport. Bref, vous devez indiquer les montants de base de toutes les charges variables et les charges fixes. I have done.
Yeah, over to you, man.
OK, over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. Osat, can you please go over? Ok. Então, nós agora vamos entrar nos custos operacionais. O que é custo operacional? É todo aquele custo que você tem, ofere para fazer o negócio mover, não é? E há custos diretos e há custos relacionados com a operação do negócio e aos custos fixos, que são aqueles custos que, independentemente de você estar a operar ou não, você tem que oferir. Esses custos fixos são, por exemplo, os salários. Não importa se você produziu ou não, você tem que pagar o salário, se está comprometido com a pessoa, vai pagar a renda, o dono da casa, o dono do espaço não quer saber se você está a ganhar dinheiro ou não, luz, água, enfim. Mas os custos diretos têm a ver mais com a produção em si. Quer dizer, por exemplo, relacionado com a produção, o custo da operação de equipamentos, enfim. E todos esses custos, mais uma vez, vocês devem colocar somente o custo de linha de referência, ok? E todos os outros anos serão automaticamente calculados, porque, como eu disse, a parte cinzenta, vocês não têm que colocar nada. Você, portanto, na linha, vocês colocam o valor que vocês acham correto, e depois tudo o resto é calculado automaticamente. Notar que aqui são suposições, mas tentem fazer as vossas suposições o mais informadas possível. Para quem ainda não produziu, nunca produziu, pode não ter ideia exata, não ter o valor exato desses custos, mas quem já está em produção tem esses valores. valores, então deve usar esses valores. E quem não tem esses valores tem que tentar assumir de forma mais própria. Osato, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nadia. And so I want to quickly make this comment. So for you, if your business is already existing, your baseline will be last year end. That's your annual cost for the year 2025. That'll be your baseline. And then you then project for the next 5 or 10 years from there. But if your business is just starting, this is an idea, then you have to do a bit of research to understand what the baseline cost should be from your raw materials by asking questions and then estimating those things. Now, your financial model also has to align with your business plan. Once you've developed your business plan, whatever you say in your business plan is quantified in your financial model, and two of them must be complementary. I just wanted to make that comment there. Let's go to revenue. So in terms of revenue, so we want to look at what base volume, how much volume would we sell per annum, as well as, because typically revenue is your volume times your price. And then we build in some element of seasonality. Is this an agricultural product that people need at specific times of the season? Does season drive uptake, an uptick in revenue regarding this particular product? And besides seasonality, what is the potential revenue realization potential? I mean, you can start a business today and realize your entire revenue projection. It could be that you're only getting 80% revenue realization. In fact, maybe 30% of your projection in year 1 and 2, year 3 becomes 50%. Except again, of course, you're already doing this business. You already know what your baseline is in terms of volume, and so just projecting from there makes it easier. So for this LPG business, our volume is 5,000 per annum, and then the base product or service, the base cost, like I did before, I already changed it to 3,500, which is the current price, because things are changing significantly. Now, in terms of uptake, what I've done is that, and revenue realization, I've said year 1, 80%, because everybody needs gas. It is, whether it's season, your uptake may be the fact that during, if this was in the Western world, you may need, during winter, you may need quite a lot, you may get up to 100%. And what I've just done here is to say, everybody needs this gas, everybody wants to buy this, is in high demand, and so 80% revenue realization. Then we could say let it be 70% or even 50% in year 1, and then year 2 we can then do 70%, and year 3 we can then move to 80%, and then 100 after year 3 by year 4. So that begins to, so you see the reason for all of these figures that you are seeing here. What it's saying is that first, it has taken my annual and projected it into what the monthly projections could be, and then monthly sales volume, and then added up the monthly sales volume, or my baseline, took my baseline, projected it. It's a monthly baseline anyway. 5,000 is the monthly baseline. Then the price is just the price per cubic meter of LPG. I think cubic meter, yeah, that's the measurement. Then percentage of revenue realization is 50 that I've done. Also, it then project for me based on all of that. It then projects on annual basis. So when I say 50%, it means that my volume, that's why my volume is 2,005 per month. I can't realize more than 2,005 since it's only 50%. Then that based on a month-and-month basis, please, is January to December. Then month 2, I do 70%. Month 3, I'm able to do 80%. So I'm building in seasonality into it and just saying by month 4, I should get 100%. The reality is that this is in high demand. You will definitely do 100%. I know people that do this business. But for you, you already know how your business runs. So you build in that revenue uptake. So for instance, if you're telling us that your current volume is 1,000 per month, and so 1,000 is already 100%. And so, but you could also then project to say, okay, fine, I'm going to get my 100% from year 1, or I'm going to get 80%. But that depends on how you're planning your business. And then seasonality builds into it. And then it tells us what the sales volume would be, depending on annual basis, and then what the annual price would be, making necessary adjustments where possible. Then remember, I have 2 products. My second product is my delivery fees. Remember, I have also said 10% of all of these people will definitely request that I deliver LPG to them. And then I pay them, they pay a fee of 1,000, and I actually did a survey to get all of this for a client. And then they are already willing to pay 1,000 naira just as a delivery cost. And then I build into it that look, I will realize this revenue because this is coming from customer or market survey. Customers are willing to pay, they are ready. All I just need is I need to hit the market. Then for somebody who is already doing this business, you know what the baseline volume is, and you know that you're already realizing this. So that can give you the 100%. So all of these makes up the revenue projections for this particular business. Thank you. So before we go into working capital, over to you.
Thank you, Osato. Donc, nous sommes au niveau de l'évaluation du chiffre d'affaires. Tout à l'heure, on avait indiqué le taux de croissance du chiffre d'affaires produit par produit. Ici, il est question d'introduire les prix unitaires, les quantités pour avoir le prix de vente. Et vous devez aussi indiquer la saisonnalité. Ça veut dire que si vous êtes censé faire 100% de vente pendant une année, quelle est l'influence des mois? C'est-à-dire mois par mois, quel est le taux de couverture possible de vos ventes? C'est ça qu'on appelle la saisonnalité. Et vous devez donc remplir ces éléments de saisonnalité afin que votre chiffre d'affaires produit par produit, année par année, se génère automatiquement. Donc, on espère que vous avez compris l'exercice. Il est question ici d'indiquer les éléments de revenus de votre entreprise. Donc, la prochaine étape, c'est l'analyse du fonds de roulement. Donc là, il est en train d'indiquer comment est-ce que ça sort, produit par produit, comment est-ce que c'est régénéré automatiquement par le logiciel. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you so much. Bem, agora vamos falar das receitas, ok? Então, para receitas, vocês novamente devem colocar um valor de linha de base, não é? Que é o valor que vocês estimam estimam para quem ainda não produz ou quem já produz sabe qual é o seu volume de venda mensal e também a linha de base para o preço. Outro aspecto aqui a ter em consideração é a sazonalidade. Como vocês sabem, há negócios que são sazonais, negócios que vendem mais em certas épocas e menos em outras épocas. Por exemplo, alguém que tenha um empreendimento turístico. Há meses do ano que há mais turistas a visitar essa localidade e há meses que têm menos. Também pode acontecer quem produz, quem está na agricultura. Há meses que é para plantar e há meses que é a colheita e venda. Então, esses aspectos devem ser considerados, por isso é que vocês têm aqui a percentagem de lucro realizado. e têm a razão para a sazonalidade. Quer dizer, é basicamente o que ter ao vender sempre o mesmo produto, há produtos que sim, mas há produtos que não. Sempre, se alguém vende, por exemplo, materiais escolares, é certamente que durante as férias não vai vender muito, mas no início da aula tem um pico e noutros períodos que. Então, esses são aspectos que vocês devem considerar aqui para representar as percentagens de venda. Vai ajudar a estimar o vosso perfil ao longo do ano. E é dessa forma que vocês conseguirão estimar a receita vai ser gerada ao longo do ano e ao longo dos anos. Ok? Nós depois vamos ver, analisar os resultados de tudo isso que vocês aqui tiveram a colocar, ou estarão a colocar. Sato,
Thanks, Nadia. So now we are moving to the next working capital. Remember, we made the working capital projection earlier today when we said, oh, our inventory will be, I think, 2 months of I think our direct cost, and then our working capital will be, I think, 3 months of our direct cost. So we are now looking at what our working capital will be. Remember, for a business of this nature, you have your receivables, your payables, and your inventory days. These are three critical things you need to work around to be able to determine how you are able to make money, and this will determine your cash flow. So you must make sure that your payables. So payable is um, you bought something and from a supplier and you are yet to pay. While your receivables are somebody, a consumer, a customer bought something from you on credit and is yet to pay. And you also know so he's owing you while you're also owing a supplier. But the way you make sure you balance this out is such that the timeline for you to receive for your receivables to come must be shorter than the timelines for your payable. Otherwise, you're going to have cash flow issues. It's your ability to manage your payables and receivables that also affect your cash flows. So in this instance, we want anybody that buy goods from us, we will only give them 5 days. I mean, LPG, they all pay. Really, in this business, there's nothing like receivables. But let's assume we have an industrial pest supplier, or we supply restaurants, different quick service restaurants that buy large volume from us, and we give them 5 days to pay back. And then we have payables. I mean, the supplier, the LPG supplier, we pay them after 30 days, so we don't pay them. So what, I mean, we have that 25 days. I mean, we've gotten our money. We have 25 days of our cash available, either to invest it in something, put it in something, or use it for something. And so we are probably going to have cash at hand because we are getting our money back quicker than we are paying for the goods that or services that are provided. And our inventory turnaround is every 30 days. We come, we believe we finish selling in 30 days, then we then bring another product. So the explanation of everything is here. Your receivable days, average number of days, customers pay to pay for the business or services you render, the payable, the average number of days for which you pay your suppliers, inventory days, average number of days required for your business to sell up a batch of your inventory at 30 days, and that aligns with the cycle of our payables. So the suppliers, by the time they are coming back to supply again, you must have sold all the goods. That's working capital. Then let me also jump to for time to talk about startup financing so we can take them together. So now that you're done with your working capital, the next thing you now look at is your startup financing. This is a business that you're starting. You must have a skin in this game. You don't just expect that you borrow all your money, borrow your way out. You're already an established business. You already probably have equity in that business, and you probably have also some people who have invested in your business. or you must have stabilized in such a way that you probably now run your business with other people's money and all of that. So your personal investment to show that you have a skill in this game must be there. So for this particular business, personal savings, owner's capital, the owner is saying, look, I'm not putting in any capital, but let's check that. Let's say owner's putting 20%. If the owner puts in 20%, he gets a grant, maybe a Elumelu grant, whatever that Elumelu grant eventually becomes. Let's assume, because this is 54 million. So Elumelu grant should be like 4% of what that total is. Personal savings, no, let's take personal savings as, let's not put personal savings. Let's say equity. Equity from owners of this business is about 40%. And then from that, they need to then get a bed. Let's say 50% equity. And then they get a 46% debt. So that gives the 100% of the funding that is required as startup capital for this particular business. Remember, equity is more expensive actually than debt, but how you are able to structure, make sure that you're able to get grants, which is patient capital, or and then equity, which is also patient capital. And the better you're able to get those, you don't want to start a business and you're starting with debt. Yeah, you can't start with debt if you've already started running the business, you know your cash flow, you understand your cash flow. But then if it's just a business that is starting, and you can gather the money through the grant, through personal savings, and through equity, you go for that. So over to you, Fuku and Nadia.
Thank you, Osato. Donc, pour la suite, nous sommes sur la rubrique G, où on va vous montrer comment est-ce qu'on remplit le fonds de roulement. Donc, ici, l'opération est simple. Vous devez juste indiquer le délai que vous aimeriez avoir pour les créances, c'est-à-dire le paiement de vos clients, le délai aussi que vous aimeriez avoir pour vos dettes, le paiement de vos fournisseurs, et indiquer aussi la durée de stock. Donc, ça, ce sont des éléments de gestion qui sont prévisionnels. Quand vous indiquez ces éléments-là, automatiquement, Excel va ajuster un certain nombre d'opérations. Can we go down, please? Alors, pour ce qui concerne le financement de départ, nous avons essentiellement 3 rubriques. Please, can we go down? Nous avons essentiellement trois rubriques. La subvention, votre capital, votre apport personnel. Non, can you go a bit? No.
Oh,
OK, thank you. Donc, vous avez, it's good. Non, vous avez votre apport personnel, vous avez la subvention et vous avez aussi les dettes. Donc, il peut y avoir plusieurs dettes. Il est question pour vous d'indiquer quelles sont les conditions qui vous arrangent. Can you go down a bit? Quelles sont les conditions qui arrangent votre business afin que le business soit rentable, en indiquant donc tous ces éléments. Concernant donc, il est question ici pour vous donc de mettre les montants ou bien les pourcentages que chaque style de financement de démarrage occupe au sein de votre projet. Donc, thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Coco. Então, nós aqui vamos de giro, o capital operacional. Aqui vocês têm que levar em consideração 3 aspectos fundamentais. Um é os dias para receber, dias de recebimento, ou seja, quanto tempo vocês vão para receber após vocês entregarem o vosso serviço ou encomenda. Há trabalhos que são imediatos, mas há muitas das vezes há trabalhos também que se entrega para receber depois, trabalhos, produtos. Então, aqui aparecem dias, vocês só têm que colocar o número de dias. Imagina que eu faço, sei lá, pintura de casa. Pode ser que pagam-me depois de eu completar o trabalho. Então, eu tenho que considerar quantos dias e esse pagamento. Dias para pagamento é o contrário, é parecido, mas é o contrário. O contrário no sentido em que, imagina que vocês têm um fornecedor e o fornecedor dá-vos, por exemplo, matéria-prima para trabalhar e qual é o prazo que o fornecedor espera receber. E o inventário, os dias de inventário, é basicamente quanto tempo vocês mantêm o inventário em mão antes de operar. Depois nós temos o capital, o financiamento do startup, o financiamento da vossa operação. De onde é que está a vir o dinheiro? Aqui aparecem três opções, que são grandes, ou seja, subvenções, equidade, empréstimo, ok? E acho que capital pro... Não, são só essas três opções. Ok, perfeito. Então, e aparece ao nível de percentagem. As percentagens vocês colocam assim, e o capital próprio, portanto, são quatro opções. E a percentagem que vocês colocam, o total vai aparecer aí embaixo, onde está ali o 100% em verde. Vocês vão colocar em termos de percentagem. Se vocês colocarem um valor que não faz sentido, ele vai aparecer, vai ficar a vermelho, porque é 100%. O valor que vocês vão receber é 100%. Vamos dizer que a Fundação Tony Elumelu vai vos dar 5 mil, esse 5 mil representa 100% do valor para o negócio. Então, vocês põem 100% ali onde está a subvenção ou grandes e pronto. Mas se vocês vão investir parte do vosso valor, então vocês põem ali a quantidade que vocês vão investir. Nesse caso, podem pôr 10% e outros o 90% empréstimo, enfim. Basicamente é só para dizer que o dinheiro. E atenção que estiverem ver, aqui está a aparecer o que a soma do que vocês puseram aqui não bate certo. Ok? Osato, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nadia. So equity finance, this just, you see, all what we did there, what we the estimate we did there, the real numbers based on all of the all of the cost revenue that we projected. So it means that equity injection should be about 50%, which is 50% of 64 million is going to be 32. And then from equity perspective, and then the debt will also be the debt will be 29 million 400,000, and then your loan will be borrowed. You borrow the loan in probably, yeah. We want to really start remote. We probably borrow the loan in year 3 or year 2. Let's assume year 3. We would have really considered, or year 2 borrow. We'll get the money in by year 2, and then we pay back in 5 years. Hopefully this works. But yeah, let's assume we can always come and adjust if the numbers don't make sense. Then, so no will end. So if it's year 2, it will end in year 7. I mean, we are just making these adjustments. So the only place I changed was when I'm borrowing the loan. Every other thing was automatically calculated for me. And then I said, and then also the repayment period. Once that is done, it gives me when I'm expected to pay back. Then if I'm taking additional debt facility, so in this instance, I'm just taking one debt. If I still feel maybe after year 2, I take another loan when I finish paying, maybe by year 7, I should have finished paying, but before I finish paying, maybe year 6, I need another loan. I can decide to say by year 6 again, I take another loan and I decide how much it will be that I will take by year 6. And I just make all of those estimates. When I make those estimates, maybe I need 3 facility. Maybe year 6 I pay back by year 9, and then by year 9 again I take year 9 before I finish paying, or year 8. You can do all of the analysis or here as part of the assumptions. Over to you, Foucault, just to give us, yeah, the implication of the equity choice we made. or the funding
Thank
choice.
you, Osato. Donc, pour le point I et le point G, nous avons en I la participation, le financement participatif. Ici, il est question d'indiquer comment est-ce que votre entreprise est financée, quel est le montant de ce qu'on appelle l'ouverture de capital. Vous devez indiquer, vous devez aussi dire quel est le solde de départ et le solde de fin. Donc, au niveau de financement par la dette, ça c'est le financement du capital. Financement par la dette, ça peut être une dette, deux dettes, trois dettes. Dès lors, vous devez indiquer, can you go down a bit, please? Dès lors, vous devez indiquer quel est le taux de la dette, quel est le montant de la dette, quelle est la durée de la dette. Et cet exercice est fait pour les trois dettes que vous pouvez obtenir. Et dès que vous remplissez tous ces, can you go down, please? Dès que vous remplissez tous ces éléments-là, automatiquement dans le logiciel, ça ajuste tous les montants et ça régule tout votre tableau. OK, thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Soko. Bem, nós agora vamos aqui, a secção Z e J, olhar basicamente para a vossa fonte de financiamento, ou seja, de onde é que vem o dinheiro, né, em mais detalhe. Ele pode ser através de equidade ou através de um empréstimo. Equidade, o que é? Basicamente, é vocês receberem o dinheiro em troca de alguma percentagem da empresa. Okay? Can you please scroll up, Osato? Thank you. To equity debt. Finance, yeah. Thank you. Então, basicamente, se for o caso de vocês estarem a entrar nesse tipo de financiamento, vocês colocam ali o valor que vão receber. De novo, é sempre na célula em branco, nunca na célula cinzenta. Se for o caso de vão à banca, em que ano? Vocês vão à banca no primeiro ano ou planeiam ir à banca no futuro? Como nesse caso ele colocou que ele estima que no segundo ano ele vai ao banco pedir 24 milhões, enfim, e para pagar por um período de 5 anos. Então, essa é a opção dele. Pois ele ainda estima que ele ainda vai fazer um outro crédito no ano 6, pedir outros 20 milhões. Portanto, basicamente aqui é vocês olhar o vosso negócio, estimar onde é que vai vir o dinheiro, em que momento. E o resto é calculado automaticamente. Okay. Thanks, Osato.
Welcome, Nadia. So you haven't done that. You then have what we call your schedule. Your schedule just shows your debt amortization. For this particular, for the amount we said we borrow, these are automatically calculated over the period, depending on when we pay back, as you said, in our sheet, in our debt analysis sheet. So you pay this back, say by year 7, we have paid fully. And then the second one, that will start from year 7, that will end in year 10. So it then also show how much you need to pay so that by year 10, you are no longer owing anybody. And then this is the annual debt analysis for us. Then the working capital schedule, based on the working capital assumptions we put in. So it shows us how our working capital will play out. You don't need to touch anything here. Look, I can't touch anything. It's automatically computed. So it's been built in and it's locked. So just do what you need to do and every other thing will be computed for you. Our plans, plant property and equipment, the depreciation schedule is also here. So these are all our schedule in accounting. So based on all the estimates, you may remember our total asset is about 64 million. And so everything, or the total cost is 64 million, the component that makes it up and how the schedule is working. So all of this has been done. You're not going to, we don't expect that you're a financial analyst to do all of the analysis and all of that. No, everything has been done for you. And the schedule just shows the analysis you've done and how everything plays out. So after this, we can now go into the income statement to see how we are going to make money, how the analysis we've done or the assumptions we made, how it's playing out in terms of finances, in terms of income, and then in terms of how it's affecting our balance sheet and cash flow. Are we going to be in the negative? Are we in the positive? We can then tweak some things to make sure that we are in the positives. Don't submit a projection that shows a negative cash flow. It shows that your business is not generating cash or where you are not making any profit at all. It could be that your assumption, you go back to your assumption, look at it, and probably there are some things you've estimated, except it's a business that you've proven over time that look, this is how things will go. But what that will mean is that there are some things you are probably not looking at. You could probably start looking at other options for cost reduction, because every business, you are in business to make money. And this grant is to also enhance either your working capital, but for your growth and expansion. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is, are you making money? You don't look good when you're making losses, except there's a reason for that. So over to you, Foko and Nadia.
Thank you, Osato. Donc, dans cette partie, on vous montre comment est-ce que tous vos états financiers ont été générés. Donc, ici, vous pouvez donc apprécier à quoi ressemblent tous les montants que vous avez mis, comment ça s'est ventilé année par année et surtout produit par produit. Donc, vous avez, quand vous go down, please, vous avez là le récapitulatif de tout ce que vous avez eu à programmer plus haut qui ressort. Et il faut dire qu'après ça, maintenant, on ira dans les autres onglets pour voir les résultats. Et vous devez veiller à ce qu'il n'y ait pas de chiffres négatifs ou négativement inexplicables aussi, parce que votre entreprise doit pouvoir être rentable. Thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Ok, então, e dessa forma, vocês tiveram tiveram a oportunidade de ver como é que é elaborado esse modelo. Nos campos brancos, não no cinzento, a usar a linha de base como referência. Eu já vi aí questões que estão a perguntar se o salário, como é que é, o salário é anual, onde devem colocar os salários e usar suposições que fazem sentido. E uma vez vocês colocarem tudo, seguindo toda esta instrução, vocês terão resultados que fazem sentido também, ok? Boa sorte a todos. Osato, over to you. Thanks.
Okay, great. So now let's move to the income statement. So I haven't done everything we've done. So let's look, are we making money or not? Our total revenue is about 2 to 3 million in year one. And then our cost is about 116, so we're making money. So our profit before tax, we remove tax. So this shows that this business is viable, even from year one. Excuse me, sorry about that. Even from year one, we are already making money. And so this is a good business that any investor will want to support. You know, when we were working, we were doing everything, all of the assumptions, we never knew how it would play out in our P&L. And what it has shown to us now is we are making enough money, enough revenue to offset our costs. And that is looking good in terms of our revenue, income statement. But let's go to the balance sheet. Also, our balance sheet is not looking bad. It's also looking good as well. Everything appears good, despite the fact that we are going to take loan twice. Our loan starts, remember, our loan starts in year 2, is there showing year 2. And then as we pay back by year, we fully pay by year 7, we then borrow another money, which we intend to to then pay back. But the way the amortization has been done is that even by year 8, you may have paid back all of this money because you are making enough money. Remember, there'll be retained earnings and all of that to then come back into equity and all of that. So our inventory, the way we made this projection, looks very, very good. And it has shown in our balance sheet as well. Then let's look. Is our cash flow looking good? Our cash flow appears to be looking good. We are not having negative cash flow. So investing activities, yeah, we need 64 million. Nothing is looking bad. Cash at the end of the year, we are wash with cash. We are not looking bad at all. And then the summary, is this business a good business? Your books are looking good. As an investor, I want to put my money right in this business because it shows this person knows how to do business, and this is where I want to put my money, not somebody who have a negative. It doesn't mean that we should put our assumptions. I never knew how this would be, but I just use my understanding of all of these things, assuming this, and put all of those things down, and it's already looking good. But when you then make this is probably for a new business, but for a business that is already existing, most of the assumption would have been based on real data. Some of these things are real, some of the figures are real. It's just that like the volume. The volume again was based on a market assessment that I've done in the past. And that business was going to be a very good business with extensive cash flow for the investors. Thank you. Over to you.
Ok, thank you, Osato. Donc, après avoir rempli toutes les hypothèses, on a maintenant parcouru le bilan, le tableau de trésorerie, le compte de résultats pour apprécier le rendu, pour apprécier la rentabilité, la solvabilité et le financement de l'entreprise. Et il va de soi que l'analyse de ces chiffres, de ces résultats, peut permettre de savoir si votre entreprise est rentable ou pas. Ça peut permettre de savoir pour un investisseur s'il doit vous rejoindre dans votre aventure ou pas. Donc, vous avez vu là comment est-ce que, en remplissant les hypothèses, vous pouvez facilement avoir le bilan, le compte de résultats et le tableau de trésorerie qui est généré automatiquement par ce tableau Excel. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Bem, após posições nesse mapa, ok? Conforme foi dito, esta é a única página que vocês devem preencher, outra para além da introdução. Quando vocês colocam tudo isso, as páginas a seguir, vocês terão os resultados, ok? Então, basicamente, ali vocês não têm nada que fazer, é apenas fluxo de caixa, nós temos a folha de balanço, nós temos todos os resultados que servem para, basicamente, poder-se fazer uma análise de um negócio, se o negócio é ou não rentável do ponto de vista financeiro, ok? E vocês têm, para além dessa demonstração de resultado e tudo isso, vocês têm um glossário, enfim, que explica alguns termos, o que é que significam esses significados. Tem também ali no Mário os gráficos que vocês poderão dar no vosso plano de negócio, enfim. Basicamente não tem que fazer nada feito, desde que façam as suposições bem feitas. Ok? E é um negócio bem lucrativo. Thanks, over to you.
Yeah, just a quick observation before we open for questions. You discover that the revenue by year 6 has tripled between year 1 and year 6, 81 to 223. Also, our balance sheet size, you see that by year 3, it has increased significantly, almost virtually tripled as well. And our cash flow, we also discovered that it's all almost in the same magnitude. By year 2, our cash flow, we are wash with cash. So we can even decide to pay off our loan early. We can decide one thing that could be that we adjust here is maybe our costs are just too low. So if we go back, adjust the cost, it still won't make any difference. But what this means is that this is a very viable and a good business, which I agree with. LPG business is a good business, and this just tested that assumption. And yeah, so that's it. So thank you so much, everyone. I think we can have questions now. Do we have questions? No? Okay. Yeah, so I'm in the questions. The first question says, do we have do we do we base our financial projections with the 5K grant funding? Uh, 5K grant funding is just part of your funding. Remember, when I showed you the funding tab in the assumptions, there are several things that make up the funding for your business. So there is the personal savings which you could put, there is the grant. So you could actually, yeah, because part of the things you have to do is the grants can be there. And then there is the equity, which is your own contribution besides your savings. Maybe you've given equity to some people, take 10% equity, or that could also be additional, that could be part of your own equity. Apart from that, then there's also debt, which is what you could borrow. So you don't have to, you can add the grant to demonstrate that, look, you know what you want to use this money for. And from what you can see, this money will help me balance my funding needs. Because what this will mean is, if, for instance, your business needs you need $20,000 to run or start your business or to expand your business. The grant is $5,000. So 25% of what you need to expand your business will be provided by this grant. So you put 25% there. If it's $10,000, 50% of what you need will be provided by this grant. You put it there. So it shows that you already know what you want to use the money for, which you will do in your business plan anyway, and it's already clear how it will affect your P&L, your balance sheet, and your cash flow. Then, how did you go about the multiplication for the sales volume? Typically, the sales volume is, I mean, you already know. So, for instance, I sell maybe for the LPG plant, for example, every day we have 100 customers come to the place, and 100 customers come every day. We open maybe 6 days or 5 days a week. 100 customers per day, that is 50 customers per week. And if you take that for 1 month, which is 50 times 4, that would give you 200 customers per month. That is really just simple mathematics, understanding, or simple arithmetic, understanding the number of days you open. But you know, typically, LPG plant will open 6 to 7 days a week. So 67 days, you sell 100, you see 100 customers per day. That's 700. 700 times 4 makes up a month. So that's how I computed it. Under the growth rate, am I going to add the total sales volume in a year and again for the price? Oh no, under the growth rate, what you do is you just put your total sales under sales. There's a line, there's a row for sales. You put the baseline volume there, and then you then do your projections of what the projections will be. Then under price, you put your baseline price, which is the current price of your goods or services. And then you then decide, in year 1, will I increase? In year 2, will I increase? And then maybe in year 1, you will increase. You then put your potential growth rate in terms of pricing. I hope that answers your question as well. Must the plan be 10 years? Because 10 years seems unrealistic. 3 to 5 years should be enough. It's a month. Is it a month that we must plan? No, you are required to plan for 5 years. But the financial model takes up to 10 years. So you can as well project up to 10 years, but because this document will be with you, you can project up to 10 years now. Then 3 to 5 years is what you will need in your business plan. We know definitely, I mean, in fact, 3 to 5 years these days is even very long because the rate at which external events impact our business is higher than we expected. I mean, just look at the way diesel is changing. Just with this Middle East war between Iran, Israel, and the US, look at the way the cost of diesel or energy is changing all over the world. And you discover that, they said, there was a time, there was a ceasefire, things were coming down, and before you know it rose again. So 3 to 5 years is good. But if you have a 10 years projection, I mean, that's what the template has. You can have it, and then you can always tweak. But what is required for your business plan is about 3 to 5 years. Please, should salaries be centered as monthly or annual figures? Salaries are annual. They are annual figures, but it starts with your monthly, what you pay monthly, and then that is multiplied to give you your annual. But I think it's computed. Salaries are computed on annual basis. Our total salaries and benefits are not scaling correctly after input. Look at it very well, because your benefit is a percentage of your total salary. If it is not, then you talk to the technical team on the Tony Melu Foundation. It could be that maybe the template has the challenge, or it could be that the role was not added to it and they can easily adjust it for you. Otherwise, you can change. I think you can change the role title and then put, maybe he's a manager, you can change it to a consultant. I'm using the word consultant, because I'm a consultant. Change it to an associate, change it to whatever you want to change it to, and then use that. But I discovered that all the managers' roles work. But in some instances, when you get to the associate, it wasn't working. Are we allowed to change the variable for the startup cost and depreciation? My business is a tech business and we are operating remotely. Definitely, your depreciation is up to you. We look at industry standard. You don't just have to. This depreciation is actually standard in account. It's based on the standard accounting practice. So look at what the standard accounting practice says in your country and then use that. That's for depreciation. Whether it's a tech business or not, you can't come up with your own depreciation, but you have a range that you can pick from the industry standard according to standard accounting best practice and standard accounting practices. For the baseline, when setting price, is the price per item or total price of the total product. I mean, depending on the way you if it's a bundled product, it should be the total price, because if you have 10 products, if you have 10 items in a product, you don't have enough space to create 10 items to make up that product. So you bundle the entire price, add it together, and then you put it there as your baseline price. I hope I have answered all your questions. It appears all the questions are exhausted. Thank you so very much, everyone. Over to you. I hope Foucault and Nadia can help me respond.
Jumping. Ok. Vamos responder a uma das questões aqui levantadas, ok? A primeira questão alguém colocou a perguntar se as projeções devem ser feitas para os 5.000 que vão receber de financiamento. A resposta é depende de vós. Como vocês veem ali, tem a fonte de financiamento pode ser só a subvenção que vão receber, pode ter também financiamento vosso próprio, pode ter, vão buscar, enfim, de acordo com o vosso caso, vocês na vossa situação. Depois, a outra questão é como é que ele fez a multiplicação para o volume de venda. Bem, ah, o que vocês, para quem já faz, como já foi dito, quem já faz o negócio é muito mais fácil, é muito mais simples, porque tem esse valor. Para quem ainda não faz, não está no negócio, está a estimar, vocês têm que levar em consideração aquilo que sabem que é a vossa capacidade de produção e o mercado que vocês têm numa fase inicial. E depois, eventualmente, a suposição do crescimento. Under the goal in a year and again for the price. Ok? Outra questão tem a ver com o crescimento do negócio. Ok? O ratio de crescimento, ele está a perguntar se é preciso adicionar o volume anual. Sim, é feito por ano, todo o vosso processo é feito anualmente, inclusive tem ano 1, ano 2, ano 3. Portanto, a base também é para um ano. Ok? Depois, a outra questão aqui para 10 anos, porque parece não realístico. Ok? Pode não ser realístico, mas dá-vos uma indicação. E depois, nos 3 e 5 anos, vocês terão, mais próximo da realidade, sim, mas os anos a seguir ainda há muita incerteza. No entanto, o documento não está escrito em pedra, é um documento que vocês podem visitá-lo depois do segundo ano, depois do quinto ano, e fazer ajustes, e olhar e dizer, olha, eu projetei bem ou não. Essa, essa projeção que é sobre os salários. Os salários são mensais ou anual, já foi dito, o salário é anual. Ah, podem mudar a variável de depreciação. O custo depende do vosso caso a caso e depende da vossa realidade, do vosso país, enfim. Portanto, não é o mesmo para todos. E depois, finalmente, para linha de base, ok, está a perguntar se o preço é por item ou o preço é por o produto total. Bem, nós ali, o senhor aqui fez o exemplo usando só um produto, o LPG, não, dois produtos, na verdade, acho que LPG, vocês colocarem ali. Tem opção para colocar até 3 produtos ou serviços, não é? Então, é baseado nesses números de produtos e serviços que vocês colocam ali que vocês vão fazer a vossa análise financeira. Ok? Eu acho que é basicamente isso. Boa sorte a todos. Não se esqueçam da lista de presença que está no grupo. É obrigatório. Tá? O Sato, I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
thank you so much,
Aisha.
Nadia. Nadia, thanks. For the startup
Yeah.
cost, I think what you do, I mean, the tech person that has, we are allowed to change what you do, depreciation and all that are standard. But for startup cost change, I think you have a conversation with the Tonelli team. You can make your suggestion, and then once agreed, then you can go ahead and make it. I think there's a technical person available to support, but have a conversation with the team, and then they'll let you know how that adjustment can be made. The way to work is you can actually leverage what is here. Once you discuss with them, you use the different rules to then you can actually maybe change some of the line items, but you must be consistent across board. That's why you must have a conversation with the team so you don't have something different that may put your financial plan at risk. So Nadia, you can add that clarification.
Ok. So, então, eu só quero fazer alguns ajustes para vocês verem o que acontece quando há feita dos pressupostos. O que vocês colocarem aí é o que vocês escolherão nas páginas a seguir. E outra coisa importante a notar, ele aqui teve a olhar, por exemplo, o que acontece em termos dos seus resultados no ano 6 e no ano 2. Há, por exemplo, um aumento do de produção. Isso porque ele aqui ele faz um um crédito. Portanto, as coisas têm que se alinhar. Ele faz crédito aqui no ano 2, isso tem que refletir aí. Ele faz crédito no ano 6, tem que ser refletido ali. E em termos de custo inicial, o custo de startup, de novo, depende do caso a caso, o que é que vocês têm. Se vocês quiserem alterar alguma aqui a variável, conforme foi colocada essa questão, aqui tem um terreno, não tem terreno, mas tem comprar, sei lá, alguma coisa, outra casa, ou sei, não sei, vocês podem alterar. Portanto, as expressões que estão ali escritas podem ser alteradas, não estão presas, não estão fixas. Podem ser alteradas para adaptar a vossa realidade, ao vosso negócio. O Sato, over.
Yeah, thank you so much. I also appreciate the person that asked that question. Depending on what change it will guide in. Not sure it will make significant changes because typical business will always need all of these things for startup. But I know for tech, some of these things may not be needed, but there could be other additional things. So that will maybe help us to have a tech specific template at the end of the day. So thanks everyone. And I think that's all from my end. Over to you, Aisha. Aisha, over to you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Osato. Thank you, Nadia, for translating. Can you see me? I think my video is just coming back on. Yes, thank you very much. So we'll take some of the questions again. I think I had mentioned before that I'm trying to get my video back on. So someone here mentioned that they are unable to edit the template. So like I said before, you are supposed to download the template. You are not supposed to edit the template. Please note, you're not supposed to edit the template. You're supposed to download it and use it for your business. You're not supposed to edit it. Then you're supposed to, for the currency.
Sorry, can I stop it? So they're not supposed to edit the template online or on the
Exactly.
SharePoint.
You're not supposed
That
to edit
will
it.
alter the template. Yeah.
Exactly,
So
because
download
it's a
it.
live chat.
Yeah.
So you're not
So
supposed
download it and customize it specifically because it will have to bear your name.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Osato. So you're not supposed to edit it online. You're supposed to download it and then edit it on your device before you upload it as a PDF document. It's also supposed to be in your USD. It's supposed to be in USD. That's in dollars, because that's the only way we can. That's the only way because we can't convert it in your local currencies. So please convert it to USD and then use that as your currencies in your financial templates. Thank you. I hope that is clear. Then for the type of business registration, CACs is what is allowed in Nigeria, for instance. You have to use the business registration that is allowed in your country. For instance, in Nigeria, CAC is allowed. So make sure that you use the business registration that is allowed in your country. Like I said, the currency to use is the USD, which is also the dollar. Then the tax registration certificate issues for Nigerians. So we've gotten a couple of emails regarding the tax registration certificate in Nigeria. So for people in Lagos, there is a tax registration document that is issued in place of, I think it's issued by, I forget the name now, but there's a document that you can get in if you go to LIRS, there's a document that they give you for now, and that suffices as your tax registration certificate. Tax registration certificate is ongoing. There is no excuse me, official communication to say that there is no tax registration. We've received some emails to say that there is no tax registration. Right now, there is no official communication to say that. So please try to get your tax registration done and then submit your tax registration certificate. We've gotten some questions in the chat box to say that, can your financial assumption be more than $5,000? Yes, it can be more than $5,000, but make sure you account for more than $5,000. For instance, if your financial assumption is maybe $7,000, as long as you can account for it, say, oh, I'm getting it from personal funds or from my family, or is a loan from so and so and so, and it makes sense. You can tell us what you're going to use it to do. You can tell us where you're getting it from. Yes, it can be more than $5,000 as long as you can account for what it is for and where you're going to get it from. It can be more than $5,000 as long as it makes sense. I hope I've been able to answer these key questions. These are the questions that have been recurring in the chat box. We're going to be having several of these masterclasses. Again, masterclasses and information sessions are compulsory. They are mandatory. Attendance is mandatory. The attendance form is linked in the chat box. I see that many of you have indeed signed the attendance forms. Please look out for your emails, look out for information. When we send out emails, even when they are long, which we know that sometimes they're long, they contain all the information that you need. For instance, you keep asking if you should edit the document. It says in the emails that you should download the documents and not edit them. So please, yes, okay. I would leave room for Nadia to translate my responses. So yeah, let me finish and then Nadia would quickly translate. So please read the emails that we send out to you. They answer a lot of the questions that you're asking. So Nadia, please go ahead. And when Nadia is done, I'll have the programs manager and person of Ibukun during they speak to you before we wrap up the session. Thank you. Nadia, over to you, please.
Thanks. Fazer aqui mais ver algumas questões que foram levantadas para ok. Houve uma questão sobre a moeda, o uso da moeda. Se podem usar moeda local no mapa. O que foi aqui aconselhado é usar em dólar. Portanto, façam vossa conversão do preço, dos valores, tudo é para dólares e usem dólares, porque é muito mais fácil para a empresa que a fundação terá a avaliar o plano, avaliar se tiver em dólares, porque eles não sabem o valor das vossas moedas locais. Outra questão que foi levantada é de alguém que diz que não consegue editar o modelo online. O modelo não é para ser editado online, o modelo é para ser baixado para o vosso computador, trabalhado nele e depois carregar. Portanto, vocês têm que baixar para o vosso computador e trabalhar numa cópia vossa. Houve também questão sobre o registro da empresa. O registro da empresa deve ser feito na entidade responsável e um registro legal, formal, onde vocês terão a empresa de identificação fiscal, ou seja, o número de conta. É pedido também aqui para vocês não se esquecerem de assinar a lista de presença que está a circular no chat aí no YouTube, porque a vossa presença conta para a avaliação final, e também ficarem atentos aos e-mails da Fundação. Sempre buscar e-mails da Fundação, independentemente se forem longos ou curtos, vocês têm que ler, porque tem informações importantes para vós. Então, mais uma vez, obrigado, boa sorte a todos. Adeus, até a próxima.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, entrepreneurs across Africa. I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope you guys have learned a lot today. And you take those learnings and embed them into developing your business plan. So it's just to give quick updates and provide you with next steps on the program. So again, we've been getting a lot of inquiries from entrepreneurs asking if they should how they can download the template, the business plan templates, financial templates. So these templates are meant to serve as a guide, meaning that we have created them to help you and streamline how you put in responses, again, or how you develop your business plan so that it's more structured, as opposed to just randomly looking for, templates on the web or looking for templates from different AI platforms. So we have created this to help streamline and structure your business plan and also help you articulate your financial projections better. And this is particularly for the financials reporting templates. So all you need to do is download the document. If everybody decides to edit the document, then nobody's going to have a template. So we have created this. Once you click on the link, download it on your phone and save in your phone's personal file, or you download it in your laptop, or you save on your desktop, or you save it in your personal folder on your laptop. You're meant to download it. Again, you can always engage friends, family to show you how to download if you're unable to navigate the download button, but it should be easy on your phone and even on your laptop to download. So download, personalize it to your name, and then you can now edit from your personal folder, either on your phone or on your laptop. Secondly, if you are yet to start the process of registering your business, kindly do so now. I'm sure you must have gotten all the emails we've been sending, and we are reiterating the deadlines for the different activities across the different phases. And this is, submission of your business plan. If you have completed the training, and I mean completion is completing the business management training, completing the artificial intelligence training, and if you're in agriculture or green sector, you must complete your green business training. Completion of all three trainings indicates that you have successfully completed the training program, and your training progress indicates 100%. When you do that, you automatically will be given access to the pitching platform at the allotted time. We're going to send that information to you. So once we're ready to receive your documents, we'll open up the pitching platform for everyone who have successfully completed the training, and they can start uploading their business plan, uploading their financial document, typing in or copying and pasting in their executive summary, uploading your government approved ID card, and lastly, your 2 to 3 minute speech video. We're going to give you access, but make sure you complete your training. So if you've started all of this process, you need to start the process of registering your business, because I know for some countries it takes longer than usual. It is important that you start the process of registering your business. If you have successfully registered your business, or you're close to completing the process of registering your business and getting all other supporting documents, please ensure to start the process of opening a business bank account. If you're in one of the countries, 20 UBA countries, please ensure you open an account with UBA, United Bank for Africa. And if you are in one of the countries where UBA is not present, please ensure to open an account with a reputable commercial bank that is regulated by the central bank. Very important. Do not open accounts with microfinance bank. Do not open accounts with cooperatives. Ensure that it's a regulated commercial bank. And also at the point of opening this business bank account, ask your banker if they have any compliance or regulatory policies around receiving $5,000. Let them know that you're applying to a program, and towards the end of the year, you're going to be getting $5,000. Are there any policies? Are there any compliance issues that will hinder me from getting this funding? And also ask them that intermediary bank that they use, that they partner with for the funding to get to them, how seamless is the engagement with that intermediary bank? Ask all of these questions. It's your responsibility to ask your banker these questions, and they will respond to you, so that at the point of disbursing funds into your business account, there are no issues, and it's as seamless as possible. So you don't have to spend 1 month, 2 months to get your funding. If all things being equal, you get the right information from your banker, and they are able to provide all this information and clarity, you should get your money in 3 weeks, to be honest, routing it through your intermediary bank and eventually getting into your account. So please ensure to do this. I would hand over to Foko and Nadia quickly to translate, and then I would take on 2 more points, and we're going to end the session. So I felt it was important to address a lot of the pain points and a lot of the inquiries you've been sending to us, and just so you can hear from us directly and you know what the next steps are. So I'll hand over to Foko and Nadia now, and then we'll take the last 2 points, and then we'll end the session. Thank you. Okay, so sincere apologies. I think we've lost our translators, Foko and Nadia. Again, sincere apologies, so I would have to continue. So for those who have been asking if they can open their account as a sole proprietorship or business owner, or if they can open their accounts using other applicable means, please note that on the TF flagship entrepreneurship program, what is applicable is opening your account as a limited company. That is the requirement. We do not allow sole proprietorship. We do not allow business owner account. And this is because we want to ensure that at the point of you, registering your business, you're starting the right part, so that again, your business is ready and attractive for prospective investors beyond the entrepreneurship program, beyond TEF funding you. So we need to ensure that all the documents you're getting as you register your business reflects your approved business name. So again, we're saying it's the approved format for registering your business is a limited company. We do not allow sole proprietorship. We do not allow opening your or registering your business as a business owner. Please note, again, I repeat, what is applicable and what is the key requirement, and what we actually approve at the foundation is for you to open your account as a limited company. So please note, for if you have friends and colleagues that didn't join the session, please pass this information across to them. Ensure you open your account as a limited company. Ensure that all supporting documents that you're getting, your tax document, certificates, any document that reflects that you have registered and you have a TIN number, must reflect your business name. Very, very important. Your bank reference letter that you're going to get from your bank at the point of registering, of opening your account, must reflect your business name. Again, your business name must, be written correctly. It must be valid, because some people omit the complete name they have, that their business has been registered in. So if you're, for example, my name is Ibukun Limited, ensure that what you're giving us is Ibukun Limited and not just Ibukun, so that at the point of sending money to you, there are no disparities and there are no discrepancies. Please ensure that you're providing the accurate information. Ensure that, again, your business is registered as a limited company, not as a business owner style of registering a business, or not as a sole proprietorship. Very, very important. So again, I'm sure that this has addressed a lot of the questions you have. For people that are in the French-speaking countries, especially people that open accounts as SARL, we've been getting a lot of emails saying, oh, my account is SARL, my account is, I think there's another acronym. Ensure that the one you're using reflects you opening your account or registering your business as a limited company. Whether it's SARL or SASL, just ensure that it is a limited company. You're registering your business as a limited company. This is very, very important. So please take notes, pass the message across to as many entrepreneurs you know that have been shortlisted on this program and may not necessarily be on the call watching the session. Let them get this information. If you have completed your training, as I said earlier, start the process of developing your business plan. Start the process of putting your financial projections together using the templates we have provided, and then start the process of developing your 2 to 3 minutes elevator pitch. So elevator pitch meaning that you're telling us in 2 to 3 minutes what your business entails. You're hitting the notes, you're hitting the key points of your business, so that again, anyone listening to you is able to understand the business you want to launch, is able to understand the problem you've identified, the solution you have for that problem, what your unique target, what is unique about your business, who your competitors are, the milestone you have, and your financial projections. Very important in 2 to 3 minutes. So I think we've addressed a lot of the inquiries, a lot of the questions you have been asking us. We've covered all. Again, the tax registration issue, particularly for Nigerians, and this is the last one, is I know that they don't give tax certificates anymore. However, if you go to the CAC portal and you put in your business name, this is for those that have successfully registered their businesses in Nigeria. Once you put in your business name and you click search, it would show your business details, your TIN number. That's the screenshot we need you to get that screenshot. And that's the screenshot that would replace your tax certificate. Because now what CAC has done is CAC and FIRS or NRS, which is a new name, there's a synchronization between both organizations now, and your TIN number is embedded in your CAC. So for those that are newly registering their business, you will find that your TIN number is in your CAC document or your CAC certificate. So once we get that screenshot, we can confirm that, yes, you have successfully registered your business. You have been given a TIN number because there's now a sync between both bodies. And we can now validate that, yes, business has been registered, tax has been registered as well. So once we get that screenshot, you are good to go. And we will send a sample of the screenshot to you and a link to the CAC portal for ease of accessibility. So I think we've addressed all the questions. And then one more question. Somebody asked that, can you put up a financial projection of more than $5,000? Yes, you can. However, we want to know how you're going to utilize the $5,000. That's the whole essence of you giving us your financial projections. If you're giving me a projection for $15,000, I'm not giving you $15,000. I'm only giving you $5,000. I need to be able to validate that. With the $5,000 I'm giving you, you can successfully launch your business and you can start making money with you launching that business. Even though, again, you may need additional money to eventually scale the business, but you can start the business to a point where you're generating revenue, you're creating maybe 1 or 2 jobs or 3 jobs, depending on the type of business, and that business is thriving. So that's the whole idea. So please ensure that you're able to clearly articulate how you want to use the $5,000. You've articulated, everything you've done in terms of your research, your pricing, your break-even volume, revenue to be generated, income you're going to be getting. Ensure you're able to clearly articulate all of these things so that whoever is going to review your business plan and financials can see that, yes, there's been a proper thought process put into this document and it's clear, and this person is ready to launch their business once they receive the $5,000. So I think those were all the comments we had. So please, again, start the process of registering your business and ensure that you're opening your business as a limited company. If you have completed all 3 trainings as listed earlier, please start the process of developing your business plan, outlining your financial projections, and developing your 2 to 3 minutes video pitch. Very, very important. So those were the key points we had, or key information we wanted to share with you. And once you register your business, please immediately start the process of opening a business account, so that when we start to ask you to submit your seed capital details, you are not, going back and forth and delaying the process, because we're going to stick very strictly with our timelines this time around. There will be no extension. So please ensure that you're able to meet the deadline and you provide all documents on or before the deadline. Very, very important. So thank you again. I'll hand over to Aisha now to end the session. I'd also like to thank Osato for always, being available to take our entrepreneurs on, how to develop a cohesive business plan and how to really understand financial projections for their business. We appreciate your dedication, your time. Again, you are always available to support us. We're very grateful. And again, I'm sure a lot of the entrepreneurs are looking forward to joining the next series, so that, again, they can learn as much, and those learnings can be embedded into developing a cohesive business plan. So thank you so much, Osato. We appreciate you. So I'll hand over to Aisha now to end the session. So thank you, everyone. Wish you an amazing day and an amazing Friday leading to the weekend. Thank you. Over to you, Aisha.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibukun. Thank you, Osato. Thank you, Abiola. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you, Foko, Nadia. I hope you've learned a thing or two. If you have any further questions, please reach out to us via inquiries@tonyelemelufoundation.org, and we'll be sure to respond to you. Please give us some time and don't try not to spam us. Please try not to spam us. If you send, try not to spam us, please, and we'll be sure to respond to you. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you at the next masterclass. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.